As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the New York skyline in shades of orange and pink, Peter Parker stood on the edge of a skyscraper. The city stretched out below him like a living, breathing organism. The wind rustled through his hair, but beneath the iconic red and blue suit, he felt the weight of responsibility more than ever. It had been a quiet day for once. No rampaging supervillains, no massive disasters. Just Peter trying to live a normal life. But Spider-Man couldn't rest for long. The city needed him. Just as Peter was about to swing down and call it a day, his spider sense tingled. A sharp, unmistakable warning. He scanned the streets below and saw them. A group of masked criminals, heavily armed, breaking into a bank just a few blocks away. Guess it's time for the night shift, Peter muttered to himself as he shot a web towards the next building and leaped off the ledge. He swung through the air, each web-slinging movement faster and more precise than the last. The criminals thought they were smart, striking at dusk, but they hadn't counted on Spider-Man. Landing silently on the roof of the bank, Peter quickly sized up the situation. There were 5 of them, heavily armed with automatic weapons. They moved quickly, trying to crack the vault open. The leader barked orders, but none of them noticed the shadow creeping along the ceiling. In one fluid motion, Spider-Man dropped down and knocked out the first 2 thugs before they could react. The leader turned, eyes wide, but it was too late. Peter shot webs at him, pinning him to the wall before he could even lift his weapon. "Hey guys, don't you know robbing banks is old-fashioned?" Spider-Man quipped, flipping over a desk to avoid a spray of bullets from the remaining 2 criminals. His movements were graceful and precise, honed by years of practice. He disarmed one with a web to the gun and knocked the last one out cold with a swift kick. Within minutes, the criminals were tied up, and the bank was safe. Spider-Man stood over them, shaking his head. "You know, you could have just opened a savings account. Much easier." As the sirens of approaching police cars filled the air, Spider-Man quietly slipped out through the roof, leaving the scene behind. He watched from a nearby rooftop as the police took the criminals into custody. Peter sighed and leaned against the brick wall, staring out at the city below. It never stopped. The crime, the danger, the responsibility. But he wouldn't have it any other way. With great power came great responsibility, and as long as there were people in New York who needed him, he would always be there. Swinging off into the night, Spider-Man blended into the shadows, his figure just a blur against the moonlit sky. The city was his to protect, and no matter how many challenges came his way, he knew he was ready. Because he was Spider-Man.